Got him. Hey folks, Russell here about WA Fishing. Out here in one of my favorite elements, the crazy thick pads. So we're gonna send some stuff out and see if we can get some bites on this nice overcast morning. I love fishing the overcast. We're gonna see if we can get us a topwater frog bite also. We'll see how it goes. These pads grow as fast as a teenager. See if anything's hiding out in maybe some of these pockets. Oh, that one missed it. All right, let's send this frog back over there, see if we can get him to bite again. There we go. Come on. All right. There we go. Nice one. There we go. Got him on the bruiser bait paddle tail. Mouthful of that bruiser bait super swimmer. Well, he made no attempt to miss this one. There we go. All right. Got him with no blood. Cool. All right, first one of the day on the Bruiser Bait Super Swimmer. He's about a 2-pounder. All right, still have active ants here. So keeping the backpack on, stepping out into the water. Let's try the frog first. Missed it. Something went after it though. He was a little rascal though. Let's see if anything else hanging there. Is that where keep it back in? So something did go after it top water. It was little. See that he squeezed some water into it. Sure did. Oh, I hit it again. Couldn't get it. He's a little rascal. That's rare that you get a second chance at him. Rascal went after it again. Still too little. Ooh, there's a bass on the bed right there. I just spooked it. It's back. Got him. Oh, that's a nice one too, folks. Oh yeah. Just rinse them off and get a picture. Yeah, that one was on the bed, so we won't mess with him too much. But he defended that bed and hit that paddle tail that I put in his face. All right. Let's get a weight real quick. And we gotta do a measurement too. See how long it is. $17 3/4 inches. Oh. Let's get a weight on him so we can get back in the bed. Now, I think this one's the female because I saw another smaller one hanging around. Yeah. 2 pounds, 12 ounces. Actually, 2 pounds, 14 ounces.
It's almost 3 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice fish.
Yeah.
You're just fishing right into the lily pads here.
Actually, that one was on a bed. Little bed there. So, let it go. So it go back. Yeah, that one was right there. Yeah. Normally I don't bother them too much, but I say since it's right there, let's see if I can get it to bite. It did.
I remember one time, I'm going way back now, but it's on Philadelphia Reservoir.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Where the boats are, that cove there.
Okay.
And we've been fishing all morning. It was about noon, so we were going to quit and go. Yeah, the sun was up, and just before we got back to the boat, I saw a bass just about that size. It weighed like 2.5 pounds. And I had one of those Rapala minnows that dive under. So I've never caught a fish that I saw, like a cast.
Yeah.
So we had a little electric motor, so we were just going by. I just flipped it over there, and he instantly took it. And the reservoir, there was no wind, so it was much calmer than this is right now.
Yeah.
He was actually pulling the boat.
What?
So of course we couldn't stop fishing then.
No, yeah.
That's the only thing we caught all morning. And, so we went to the other side of the reservoir, and there it was like these rocky bluffs, like cliffs coming in. And I don't know if that's a good spot, but I've always assumed that stuff would fall off the cliff and fish would be waiting down there. I don't know if that makes any sense or not.
It does. Also, they pin stuff up against those rocks too.
Yeah, and you know, like along the bank, you'll see fish will come in real close.
Yeah.
Something to fall. Like the C&O Canal. That's where they are, right up against the bank. But anyway, we get over there. And this was the clearest I've ever seen the water in that reservoir. You could see down 20 feet.
Wow.
We looked down, and there must have been 20 bass, every one of them more than 5 pounds down there. You ever been to Bass Pro Shops?
Oh, yeah.
See that big tank in there?
Yeah.
That's what it looked like, looking from above down into that. They weren't moving or anything. They were just sitting down there. We tried everything we had in our tackle box. We even had some live knife trawlers. Dropped them, bouncing off their nose. They wouldn't touch the thing, man. And there was a thunderstorm coming in, so I don't know if the barometric, change affected something, or maybe the water temperature was a little too cool because this was early in the spring or something. But they just ignored everything we dropped down. We had a better chance with like one of those dip nets for minnows.
Oh yeah.
Lower it down below them and bring it up real quick. But they were. I used to work with this old plumber, and I think Rocky Gorge might be closed now for some kind of maintenance, but that's where he fished.
Oh, okay.
And he was one of these, bass fishermen, like in the tournament.
Tournament guys, okay.
Boat, electric motor, of course, but $1,000 rod and reel and stuff, and all the electronics. And those lakes are actually full of bass.
Oh, yeah.
But you have to know
Where to
fish
go,
for 'em. They're
yeah.
usually deep,
Mhm.
and this guy would refer to it as structure.
Structure,
You
yeah.
know, like rocks sticking
Uh-huh.
up or a dead tree or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you don't know that stuff, you'll never ever. You
I
might catch
know.
some crappie along the shore in the
Uh-huh.
springtime, like right now, but or stunning bluegills.
Mhm.
Because I spent like a month one spring up there, just walking the shorelines. And
Oh,
the
okay.
biggest sunfish I could get was not quite big enough to really mess with.
No, okay.
And the crappie were not like the crappie in here are pretty nice little crappie. And,
Oh, okay.
they were real skinny over there. Like they weren't
No, they
good
weren't
enough to eat.
eat,
Or something.
yeah.
But this little pond, with all this aquatic life
Mhm.
here, just walking the edges, it's just minnows, and frogs and tadpoles. So
Yeah.
they're never going to go hungry in this place.
That's for sure.
There's too many hiding places. You ever fish down at, I think it's called Cache Lake on the south?
Yeah, I've caught some nice bass there and a bunch of pickerel.
Yeah, I know they got pickerel in there. 'Cause
Mhm.
last spring, right about this time, I was
Mhm.
walking over there. He pulled one out that was about 20 inches long.
Yeah.
But it didn't fight at all,
Hmm.
which was strange. He was in the thick stuff just like
Mhm.
this here, but it just kind of came in with him, and he just kind of picked it up. No. Usually when you pull it right out of the water, you got to mess with all that stuff for 10 minutes. Before you can grab it.
It might have been an older one.
It could have been it.
Yeah.
Might have had a bad night tonight. But now those rubber boots, that's what you need.
Oh,
fishing these
yeah.
ponds around here.
Yeah, I mostly get them so I could stand out to give myself room from the trees to cast.
So that Cache Lake, they'll let you put little boats in there.
Yeah,
And I've seen the weirdest little boats. I've seen some
Yeah.
plastic ones that just kind of fold flat like
Uh-huh.
a cardboard box.
Yeah.
But they're only about 5 feet long, man. And, to me, they don't look. It's neat. It would be neat to be out there, but you're kind of like in one. You can't really move in those boats.
Right,
I don't think
yeah.
it'd be very fun for 2 or 3 hours. If you have to go to the bathroom, I don't think you could stand up.
Stand
and
up
go
with
over
it.
the side and everything.
You end up going for a swim. All right.
When I was a kid, my dad had, it was like a kayak where you were down in the water. And I remember we took it out one time, and I didn't like it at all because the water was like up to here.
Oh, okay.
It was just a little too close for you. You were on a seat up in the air. Or whatever.
Okay.
But that is a really nice fish you got.
Yeah, it was. All right.
What were you using?
A paddle tail swim bait. Let's go there. Actually, I caught a 2-pounder earlier on this too.
Okay. Yeah, because I was just looking on YouTube last night. This same type of lure on there, exactly the way you got it here. And, it was the same damn color. That's like pumpkin green or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know where they get these names
All right. Yeah.
So now I've seen where a lot of guys say they will bury the point.
Oh yeah,
in
just
the
the point. Yeah.
Do you do that sometimes?
I do. I don't bury it deep.
Just a little.
Just a little bit. I don't want it too deep.
My thing was when setting the hook, if the hook's buried in there, how does it get into the fish? But
Right, that's
obviously
why
it
you
does
don't-
because people do it.
That's why you don't want it too deep.
Oh, and that's a weighted hook too. You have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it keeps it a little buoyant, and that way you get a lot of tail action instead of it trying to roll over.
There's another one I've seen. I think it's Senko makes it. They call it a wacky worm or something.
Oh, anybody can.
It's only about that long,
yeah.
and you hook it in the middle the same way and kind of pull it sideways toward
Oh
you.
yeah. You can wacky rig any worm. That's another good lure too.
Well, when this plastic stuff first came out back in the 60s, I was hooked on fishing big time.
Oh, okay.
And I never got to go. My dad was into hiking and camping, but I don't hold it against him because there's nothing much more boring than watching a 9-year-old kid fishing. All he needs is one nibble, and he's good for another 5 hours. No, we can't go yet, Dad. I just got a bite, But
I love the joy that kids have catching fish.
But anyway, I would read magazines like Field and Stream and stuff
I
like
was that way too.
And that was when the plastic worms first started coming out. And it was like the main color was purple back then.
Yep.
And we were at a state park out in western Maryland. And I was on the bank I threw it out there. And they were saying how, you let it sink to the bottom. So I had one of those like slip weights on the front of it.
Okay.
And they say now sometimes they'll actually take it in on the way down.
Yeah.
And you'll feel a heavy feeling on your line.
Yeah.
Well, what the hell is a heavy feeling? But I felt a heavy feeling. When you feel it, you know exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And it took off like a channel count on it. I waited about 4 or 5 beats, and I set that hook. That bass must have weighed 5 pounds. Didn't weigh an ounce because I hooked it, and it didn't slow down. It just kept going, ripping the drag out. And then it jumped. You know how you'll see like a rainbow view on a fisherman's cap?
Yeah.
Just like that. And it was like, see me? Well, you're not going to catch me. He ran right into the shore where some alder bushes were growing out and got in those roots and broke me right off, man. And didn't waste time either. It was like a quick burst. Okay, I'm hooked. Well, I'll get rid of this real quick. And just ran right. And when they're coming to you, you can't reel fast enough to get the But I couldn't. I mean, I was shaking like this for half an hour.
Hey, we'll get your heart pumping.
Nowadays, with all the technology, people are putting cameras under the water.
Yeah.
Where you can see exactly what is attracting the fish.
Yeah.
To me, that kind of takes the fun out of it. I like mystery in a few things.
All right.
Don't need to know everything. Good luck the rest of the day.
Thank you. Now, normally I don't mess with them on beds, but since that was right there, I just had to give it a try. And I forgot to get a view of them in the second camera. Got him. All right. Uh-oh. Come on out of there. There you go. He felt bigger when he was stuck in the pads there. All right, but we got him. Cool. Down on that. Bruiser bait, super swimmer. Alrighty, I say he's about a pound and a quarter, pound and a half maybe. Alright. Oh, we got him, a little rascal. Alright. Cool. Little wrestle with a mouthful of that bruiser bait super swimmer and some salad there too. Let's take a picture, get him back in. Well, we didn't get our frogfish, but we did get one to hit it. A little rascal. That little rascal hit it twice, but it was too small to get the frog in his mouth. But once the sun got high, kind of gave up on that frog bite. But we got some on the bruiser bait super swimmer. Got one off the bed. It was the biggest one of the day too. Normally I don't mess with them too much when they're on the bed. No, just give it a few shots. And that one was right there at rod's length. So I said, oh man, give it a try. When I first saw the bed, I brought my lure back from a cast and spooked it. But then I saw, while I was still standing there at the same time, it came right back. I said, all right, I'm gonna try to catch this rascal. And dangled that bruiser bait in front of him. He picked it up and I got him. Hey, had a real nice chat with the guy. I'm always willing to chat with folks. Well, folks, for coming out here to the crazy thick pads and having some success, a thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. But folks, thanks for watching our WA Fishing. And as always, God bless you.